I was looking at this video yesterday or on my feed. It says why Korea is so good at League of Legends, and I'm not as curious as to why Korea is good at League. I'm more so curious about the esports scene in India. Okay, so I want to watch this as a comparative analysis type situation. I want to be like, okay, let's see why it's good, why Korea has been able to pick it up or pick up esports in general compared to our players who are also doing some things. For example, you can see a tab here that is Pokemon Unite Championships Asia League, and India League started a couple of days ago. We have some teams playing in it. So this is basically going to be till February, I think, and all these esports teams in India are competing right now for the spot in the international championship for Pokemon Unite. This is the leaderboard. So right now, Reckoning is on the top spot. Anyway, I just want to look at this and see what kind of perspective we get about why a country adopts an esport.
Korea has won Worlds 10 times in 15 seasons. This year at Worlds, 3 out of the 4 teams in the semi-finals were all Korean. Players from around the world revere the Korean server as peak League of Legends, and teams around the world import Korean
yes,
players
sir.
for their high level of skill.
Unagi.
But why?
Do you have any idea how much time I spend on picking videos? I'm like, okay, shit, I need to pick something that I actually care about, you know?
Why is Korea so good at League of Legends? Is there something in the water? Are they simply built different? Or is their solo queue just that much better than every other region? Well,
I've heard so many people talk about it. I mean, it's not just League. I've heard people talk like this about Korea and Japan in terms of fighting games, in terms of League, in terms of Dota. Everyone's like, Korean servers or Japanese servers, Asian servers, Southeast Asian servers are like the best if you want to get good at games. I don't know about Value. I don't know if Value is the same thing. But yeah, I've heard like a lot of servers are good. Strat-wise, not so much. Why? I mean, yeah, that also makes sense, right? Each server has like different kind of play styles. I don't know.
It actually goes much deeper than just their gameplay. Let me
What
show you
quality is
why
this, dude?
the country of South Korea
Just 1080p.
became the perfect storm to create the greatest players in League of Legends history.
I watched that video already. I just didn't feel like watching it on stream. That is Faker getting introduced into the Hall of Legends.
It's
one of the
July
greatest League players.
1997, and foreign
It's one of the teams that did pioneer a new strat, but mostly they aren't that strong. Oh, why do people keep hyping it up? Then everyone's like, okay, this is the Korean, Japanese, Asian servers that are like the GOAT of esports.
investors have gotten cold feet with their investments in Thailand. The Thai government was forced to let the value of the Thai baht be decided by the market
He's goated?
instead of being
Oh.
tied to the US dollar.
So it's not Korean, Japanese, but like like Vietnamese, Thailand, those servers. They also go Singapore. What did Singapore do now?
And so the Thai baht begins to collapse. This creates
I love
a
it,
ripple effect for the whole Asia region, as foreign debt to GDP ratios rose from 100% to 167%.
I'm assuming that's
The
not good.
Indonesian rupiah falls alongside it. Then the third country
Singapore is where it's at for value. Oh, okay. I thought you meant it's not good. I have to spend 2 hours reacting to the video. I try. Okay, here's the thing. I try to keep it short. Okay, it just a lot of the times I'm like, okay, I have to say this. The first time I did a reaction, it was like a 20-minute video. I ended up doing that the whole stream. By the time I completed the reaction, it was 2.5 hours. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have time to play the game now.
to feel the brunt of the Asian financial crisis was
Financial crisis,
than
classic.
South Korea, where the South Korea
This is like esports related, but not like related to this video. But I feel like esports teams and esports players should be marketed more like idols, like K-pop, J-pop idols, instead of athletes. I think that's where the real money, because I feel like esports has like a monetization problem, because sports make money because they sell like broadcasting rights to channels and stuff, right? That's where they make money. But esports have no way of making money that way. So I feel like they should go the idol route, and I don't know, sell CDs and albums or something. I don't know. Like I feel like there's like more potential in promoting them as idols, and like making them personable, and making the individual players, more. I don't know what do you call it. More appealing, I guess I could say. And I feel like that would kind of make it a mainstream, and b also kind of solve the monetization problem, I think. JP and Mumbai are the worst. Okay, Manila is new but similar apparently, but Manila players or Singapore players remains to be seen. Ooh, Mumbai is the worst. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought I thought given the density, I thought we could at least find like good players. How like how you say you take a bunch of people and you put them in one box, and then they compete and the best one comes out. I thought like not enough players. I thought a lot of people play Valo in India, no?
Korean won plummeted in value. Businesses in South
I guess India is a CS. Maybe India is a CS country, is it? Is India a CS country? If you go into Immortal 3, there's like 30 players. Oh, so you're saying there aren't enough high elo players. Like there are like casual low elo players, but not enough high elo players. That is true, I guess. That is also the reason I think a lot of people don't rank up um in India, I think. Because you're like, okay, there just aren't enough, because when you the number of matches played is part of it, I think. Number of matches played is a part of ranking system, and you just don't get to play as many matches when there aren't enough players, I think. Not enough players compared to other servers. Why? I think I guess India is a mobile gaming country. A lot of people are playing BGMI and stuff, and Fortnite also takes up a lot of market, I think. Are there Fortnite players in India? I think mostly it's BGMI, right? Mobile gaming is what's eating up the market, I think.
Korea were operating on cheap credit and foreign investment, and they weren't getting their expected returns. This
Oof.
financial disaster left South Korea
BGMI Free Fire, yeah, I've never played Free Fire. I just heard people talk about it.
in a precarious position, unable to repay their debts to foreign investors.
Man, oh yeah, that happened. Almost forgot. I was like, okay, I swear we used to have like a CS team, and then I remember the cheating scandal. Free Fire has aim assist. Oof. I can
The
understand. I
International
can
Monetary
understand.
Fund stepped in to save South Korea from this crisis with a
IMF
$58
came in.
billion bailout
Ooh,
package.
$60 billion.
But this
Okay.
bailout package wasn't without conditions. The IMF wanted to restructure
The program is intended to narrow the external current account deficit to below 1% of GDP in 998 and 999. Contain inflation at or below 5%. What is India's inflation? Like 6-7%? And hoping for an early return of confidence, limit the deceleration in real GDP growth to about 3% in 1998, followed by a recovery toward potential in
and
1999.
place conditions on South Korea to ensure that this bailout package would be repaid in the future. And although this was a dark time for Korea's financial state, the country was able to recover very quickly.
Okay.
Korea became a blank canvas with new regulations, ready for investment, and a new identity. Korea looked forwards and understood that they couldn't compete with China on manufacturing, instead investing in technology.
I think the reason
This caused Korea
I think the reason China has managed to take over the manufacturing industry is a lot of the tooling got exported there, right? A lot of the tools, even in India that we talk about, a lot of people go to China, get the tools manufactured, and then get them exported into India, and then use that stuff. So feel like slowly but surely, more than manufacturing, tooling industry has been moving to China, I think. I don't know much about it, so I just remember reading it somewhere.
The Cyber Korea 21 plan. This plan states that all Korean people, regardless of age, sex, region, and income, should have the opportunity to use computers and the internet. Korea began construction of a fiber optic backbone network for the country, as well as providing high-speed networks in rural areas. This allowed Korea to bridge the geographical digital divide between urban and rural areas, ensuring that the entire country has access to high-speed internet. In order to promote PC ownership, an Internet PC project was created,
Oh, okay.
offering second-hand PCs free of charge.
That is what we need. That is what we need, I think. If we are to bring salvation to PC gamers in India, we have to do something like this. Like give away like second-hand PCs, third-hand PCs, and like try to move people from mobile to PC.
To people with low incomes. There were also
Like because everyone's on mobile now, mobile gaming is what's taking off, and even League is coming to mobile, right? Wild Rift.
many
called, I think.
Korean internet companies competing for market share.
It's not available in
like
India
Korea's
yet, but
ThruNet, Hanro Telecom, and very, very familiar names of SK Telecom and KT, otherwise known as Korean Telecom. This led to internet usage in Korea to absolutely skyrocket, and by 2004, 73% of Koreans
so we basically did like part 1 of this, and we didn't do the part 2. We gave like everybody like cheap internet, and just didn't do the PC part. We don't have enough esports players because people don't have PCs. The ones who are kids from affluent families and adults who don't play skill-based games, the chill just play SP games. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, that's part of the problem, right? Like, you can't make people buy PCs because PCs are like an investment. So that's why I'm like, okay, we did like part 1 of this plan, but we didn't do part 2. Like, we just need to get the computers and stuff because a lot of people have like old laptops and computers lying around, I think so. But then again, population density is a thing. How do you get it there? And what if they just turn around and sell it and go back to gaming on their phones again? A lot of things could happen.
were using the internet. But this wasn't just average internet. The fiber optic network made Korea one of the leading nations in high-speed internet by 2004.
Look at
In
that,
just 4
24
short years,
Mbps, baby.
Korea had digitized both their population and their economy. After the financial crisis, many Koreans tried to start new businesses that were affordable enough for the struggling Korean populace, but also profitable and with widespread appeal. In this digitized Korea, with an abundance of electronics and policies promoting PC ownership, Koreans could bulk buy PCs and
Why-
peripherals, then charge customers to
Okay, why can we not do this in India? Right? We had cheap internet. I wanted to say we have cheap internet, but that is slowly changing. Thanks to Motabai. And now, like, let's say we had like cheap internet for years. Like, why do we not transition into something like this? Like, question mark, basically.
use them on high-speed internet, and thus the PC Bang was born. Also known
Oh,
as
I remember
internet
internet cafes,
in other
yeah.
countries, PC Bangs started popping up all over the country, peaking at around 21,549
That's why for that.
PC
So I went, when was it? I think I was 12, 13. I think I don't remember exactly when, but I remember going to internet cafes with my friends and watching YouTube. And I think I played my first ever game in internet cafe. I remember it was Vice City. I sat down to play it, and while I didn't know what was happening, obviously. But then I looked to my right and I saw like one A4 sheet on the wall. Okay, and that A4 sheet had like, it said Vice City codes, and it had like a bunch of codes on it. and I tried typing them. Uh, okay, I've never played a GTA game without cheat codes. Okay, I've played Vice City. I've played Liberty City. I think that was. I've played San Andreas. Okay, and I haven't played GTA 5. And all of those games I played with cheat codes because that was the only way I knew to play the game. I didn't know there was a campaign or anything until recently. I think not as in, recently, as in like after like a few years and stuff. Until then, I just thought you log in, you type these codes, and you just do stuff.
In 2009. During this PC Bang peak, the community and culture of PC Bangs was
This is more like a gaming cafe, right? A lot of like high end PCs and stuff. And in my city, every single year, I notice a gaming cafe um, get launched, like they open up and stuff, and within 2 years they close. And again, I notice a new one open up and then they close it. A new one opens up and then they close it. I don't know why they're opening it up. I don't know why they're closing up.
PC
It keeps happening.
made sure it was extremely affordable to play, charging as little as 1,000 to 1,500 won, or around 75 cents to $1 per hour. This meant that teenagers with very little money and unemployed people struggling during the financial crisis
Like me.
easily afford time at the PC Bang. Another reason that PC Bangs thrived was because of the density of Korea. South Korea's population density is approximately 530 people per square kilometer, or around 1,375 people per square mile.
What is India's
making
density?
it one of the most densely populated countries in the world. I saw an Invent Global post talking about the density of Korea and how it impacted them while growing up. They're quoted in saying, "When playing at school, you will usually see more than 100 students
That is basically Amarpali.
playing at 2 goalposts. More
If
than
you know, you
5
know.
balls are kicked from one place to the other. Essentially, more than 5 games are played in the same football field at the same time. This population
Yeah.
density impacts the ability
Yeah.
for people to use
I have a playground near my house. There's like 10 matches, 10 cricket matches, 20 badminton matches, at least 2 football matches happening at the same time.
open social spaces. But with a PC,
That's just how it is.
each person takes up very little space. This means that multiple groups of friends can all enjoy spending time together easily
Imagine having friends and spending time with them.
rather than taking up multiple football fields, making PC Bungs a much easier place to hang out.
You know who this is good for? This is good for a group of friends who bunk college and they go and play like Call of Duty or something. Something like LAN friendly.
Koreans have spent a significant amount of their
I said Call of Duty because that's exactly what I did. I went with my friends and played Call of Duty.
youth hanging out at the PC Bang with friends after school or university.
That was like college age type.
If you think about gaming in a country without popular internet cafes, many people will own and enjoy different games. Some people grew up playing story games, some playing fighting games.
You know what's funny? I grew up playing Halo religiously. Okay. I used to come back from school every single day and play Halo. And fast forward to today, I don't play shooter games at all. I don't know what happened. I don't know when that switch flipped. I was a religious Halo player and then I stopped. Also, Max Payne for me, yeah, say Max Payne, Halo, Max Payne. I used to love those games. I don't know when I stopped playing shooter games. I don't know what happened. Like the chemical composition of my brain changed, I think.
Or some playing first person shooters. It just depended on what you owned. But in Korea,
I remember thinking Max Payne 1 and 2, I played them, and Max Payne 3 was different, I think, compared to Max Payne 1 and 2. And I was very sad because I hate change. Okay. I was like, why did you change it? Make it like the first two. Why is this different?
PC Bang culture meant that the games that were already installed on PCs would become the most
Also used to I also had an era where I watched all the Saw movies. I used to come back from school and sit down at the computer, and by then I had figured out how to sail the seals basically. And I used to come back from school and I used to watch Saw franchise. If you don't know what Saw franchise is, um, I'm not gonna explain. It's basically torture porn. Okay, it's not exactly, but it's just it is what it is. Wasn't my type though. You know what? You know the thing. I wouldn't watch it now. That's the thing. I used to play a lot of shooter games. I don't play them now. I used to watch a lot of violent, gory movies that I won't watch today. I don't know. I know when it happened. I know when my switch flipped. Um, I don't know. Yeah, just how it is. I feel like I was like an entirely different person growing up, and after I was like 20, I changed into a different person, and then after I was 25, I changed again into a different person. Like as I am now, I don't recognize the person I was before 25 at all. I'm like, if you, I sometimes see like those Snapchat memories. It's like, oh, 5 years ago you're doing this, 10 years ago you're doing this, etc. Like, don't remember shit. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why. And I get like, those what do you call it? Probably, yeah, yeah, true.
Most popular in Korea, all of them online live service games like Lineage, Maple Story,
Look at those
and the most
graphics,
iconic of all, StarCraft Brood War. StarCraft being
man. StarCraft is such a fumble because StarCraft was supposed to be a 40K game apparently, and then 40K. The people who own 40K IP, that is Games Workshop, they were like in talks, and then the deal fell through. So the game was built with 40K in mind, but the deal fell through. So just gave it a new branding and then released the game, and then it became like insanely popular. So yeah, they probably regret not accepting that deal now.
online competitive game took advantage of this Korean landscape as the country was covered
Because
in
if you look at all the factions and stuff, they're like very similar to the, Warhammer 40K factions.
high-speed internet, and there were lots of people in the PC bungs all playing StarCraft. The extremely rewarding mastery curve and high skill ceiling of StarCraft meant that the unemployed people from the financial crisis and the youth could invest so much time into the game and see it pay off. The high-speed internet of Korea also meant that the optimization and micro-level mechanics could be performed extremely precisely,
True.
allowing Korean players a
Let's look at
great
that mouse
environment
action.
to master
Dude,
the
that's
game.
so many action. Here's the thing, right? I see so many clips of like pro players and stuff. They're like insane actions per minute. They're like tabbing to look at stats and doing this, doing that. They're looking at the different part of the map, then moving the mouse. I'm like, I'm like too old for that shit. I my pinky hurts from trying to hit tab and shift. Okay, I can't. Also, there's a different problem that I have. I keep breaking my mouse every 2 months. I buy a new mouse and it breaks every 2 months. So I think I click too hard. I don't know.
Easy
The
matchmaking with Battle.net
it's always the
client,
left click. The left click
even
stops
an option
working.
to play LAN, allowing for
Now
local
I'm like so frustrated. I've stopped buying a mouse. I keep the same busted ass mouse.
competition in your PC bang community. So although the game wasn't even language localized, on release, StarCraft took over Korean culture. By July of 2001, South Korea had purchased 2 million units of StarCraft, accounting for 50% of all StarCraft sales worldwide. StarCraft had a built-in leaderboard, and at the local PC bungs, players would crowd around the best players' screens to watch them compete against other top-level players. Noticing this, PC bung owners would put on local tournaments to decide who the best players in each district were.
I think that's the thing, right?
These
There's no like local gaming culture. I think there's no offline gaming culture here. I think because arcades are not a thing. The gaming cafes obviously are not picking up. I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is.
Small local tournaments would be the spark that eventually grew into the fire of the massive Korean esports scene. Blizzard would then go on to host online ladder tournaments amongst the top players in each region. Esports leagues like the Korean
Imagine the entire reason India doesn't have an esports scene, like not a lot of pro players or like not a lot of gamers, is because parents don't let their kids leave the home. Like not allowed to go outside, and you have to go to school, come back, and spend the time. Imagine that is what is the reason for crumbling the entire esports ecosystem.
Professional Gamer League and Net Club would be created, showcasing the
Just the
best
parenting
StarCraft
culture
players
aspect.
going head to head against one another. And South Korea as a country would fully embrace this. In the year 2000, Korea saw the future in esports and would establish KESPA, otherwise known as the Korean Esports Association.
We also established an esports agency, right? I forgot what it's called. Indian esports something. Let me check. Indian Esports Association. What the fuck is it called? Esports Federation of India, ESFI. When was this launched? I think it was recent, no? 2016. Look at that. That's when we were like, yep. I think now we can pay attention to esports. That was what, 10 years ago?
The official goal when creating KESPA was to make esports an official sporting event and to solidify the commercial position of esports in all sectors. This ensured legitimacy for the working conditions of pro gamers, the formation of official esports events, and encouraging the general Korean population to play games. This led into the first official esports TV channel called OnGameNet, which would host Star League, being the first professional StarCraft league in Korea, which went on to become extremely popular. In October of 2000, the world first Cyber Games was held in Korea, with 174 competitors from 17 different countries, featuring games like
Is that
Quake
like
3,
Olympics for like
Age of Empires
esports?
2,
Hello?
and most
I
importantly,
have Age of I think I have Age of
StarCraft
Empires
Brood
2.
War. The actions of KESPA
I think.
and
I don't know,
the
I have Path of
professional
Exile, I
StarCraft
think. I
scene
don't
in
know.
Korea started the legitimization of professional gaming all the way back in the year 2000. And by 2002, Korea had officially recognized professional gamer as a legitimate job title. These early Korean StarCraft
By
tournaments,
when?
1000. And by 2002,
We
Korea
didn't even have an esports federation by 2016 is when we established esports federation, dude. That's what, 14 years? 14 years? Not in 14 years. That is like establishment. There were like professional esports players in Korea before we even established the federation. Forget like calling it a profession.
had officially recognized professional gamer as a legitimate job title. These early Korean StarCraft tournaments looked so similar to the current tournaments we have today, with players on stage, big crowds, and even professional business sponsors. The only
Nice.
difference was back then, some of the players had way crazier entrances and celebrations. Meanwhile,
FC?
esports tournaments in the West looked more like this. Fold-out
Yeah, that's what I
tables
would
running
imagine more.
hundreds of PCs, far less professional, no stages, no sponsors, and no theatrics. Don't get me wrong, I love this organic competition as well. Just a bunch of
No, I
gamers
want
coming
theatrics.
together to
And
see.
I don't know why people are against theatrics. I love theatrics in any kinds of performance. Like, bring the showmanship, make it entertaining, make it dramatic. Like, there's a reason people watch WWE more than professional wrestling, like in Olympics and stuff. WWE is what? It is basically wrestling with showmanship. It works. I don't know why people don't see it. Add showmanship to anything and it gets better.
Who's the best. But it's clear to see that Korea was already years ahead with how esports was run and respected, all because of the development of KESPA.
Yeah,
The
true.
same goes for teams and players. Organizations like SKTT1 and KT Rolster got their start in the StarCraft scene. As the scene progressed, teams began to get full gaming houses, coaching staffs, managers, and corporate sponsors. This seriousness allowed Korean teams
Damn,
to
look at
get
that.
insanely good at StarCraft, living with one another, discussing strategy, analyzing opponents, and having many different perspectives on the game, all coming together to create immaculate strategy. The collective intelligence of the team was far greater than the single intelligence of one player, making these teams improve exponentially.
I'm seeing a bit of this now. I think I'm not saying that this wasn't happening. Obviously, I'm saying that I've been seeing this now because I've been following the Pokemon Unite tournament and Pokemon Unite tournament and yeah. So I've been trying to keep up on some of the teams, and this is like good to look at. Like they're like discussing strategies and stuff. Like they're discussing their drafts and they're discussing the strats, like what to do in what situation, etc. Right? So that kind of feels good to look at, and it feels good to see that the culture is developing.
Players had scheduled practice, scrim partners, internal leagues, and would play the game 10 to 14 hours a day. The team houses and PC bungs of Korea meant that the players were not just having competition to be better than their opponent, but also trying to be better than the other players on their own team or their local area. Players like Boxer, Anytime, and Flash would not only be respected by their peers, but also the wider player base, with huge crowds of fans cheering them on as they played against one another. It wasn't instantaneous, but Korea as a country slowly gained respect for the skill it takes to be a professional gamer. All this effort and grinding paid off for the Korean players. This is the 50 highest earning StarCraft Brood War players.
Look at that. Look at all those names wasted in so-called esports. All of these, every single one of them. Kim Taekyong, Lee Yoon Yeol, Song Byung-go. All these people could have been doctors, could have been engineers. But look at them playing games and making millions. Like that's what. Come on, man.
Of all time.
Shame.
If you look
Shame.
closely, you may notice that there are quite a few Korean players on the list.
Imagine wanting to do what you want to do and getting paid for it.
2 non-Korean players in the top 50. And all of this esports success occurred before League of Legends was released. It actually took
League of
quite a
Legends
while
was
for League of
when?
Legends to come to Korea.
2010?
League of Legends
Was
was
it
originally
2014?
released on the 27th of
2009,
October,
yeah.
2009,
Around
with the
2010.
American servers. Then the European servers were created halfway through 2010. So by the time Season 1 Worlds happened on the 18th of June 2011, Korea
World is such a sick name, actually.
Servers.
Both League and Dota have like cool ass names for the tournaments. League is called Worlds. Like that championship is called Worlds. There's nothing else. It's just Worlds. And you know what the Dota championship is called? The International. International what? Who cares? The International. It's not even a international. The International. That's it. What are you doing? Watching The International. International what? Shut the fuck up and watch it. It's The International.
And didn't have a team to compete. But finally, after Season 1 Worlds, in December of 2011, Riot would strike a deal to bring League of Legends to South Korea.
Nice.
But entering the Korean market is no easy feat, as PC bungs already have games installed on their computers.
True.
So instead of trying to entice new customers with a shiny new product, you are competing against a whole roster of existing established games. The other issue that League of Legends faced when entering the Korean market is they had almost no competitive edge. Because of Korea's high-speed internet and PC bung culture, they almost exclusively play online free games. But
True.
Riot Games
Free-to-play
approached
market.
Korea in a very respectful and sincere way, doing press conferences, talking about providing high levels of service with League of Legends when bringing it to Korea, making sure that they were providing a great player experience rather than just another online free-to-play game like all the other games in Korea. Seeing this, the Korean
I'm going to take a long but I'm still watching the same video. I'm trying to give my input. Okay. I'm trying to bring a to be a good reactor. It damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. Like, what do you want from me?
player base felt the sincerity of Riot Games.
Not even half.
And after
I'm like
just
about
6
halfway through.
days of League of Legends being released, it had already broken into the top 10 on the list
We have
of
gotten
games
14 minutes into the
Korea.
video and
Korean
I'm
player
50
base
minutes into the
couldn't
stream or
get
40
enough
40 minutes
of
into the
League of
stream.
Legends. And on the 23rd of March 2012, just a mere 3 months after release, League of Legends hits the #1 spot on the list of games in Korea.
Nice.
But why? Why did
Why? Because the moment you play League, as soon as you click the mouse, it injects like poison into you. Like that degenerate poison, it just crawls into your veins. And you're like,
Korean player base gravitates so much towards League of Legends? League of Legends is based on a mod of the RTS game Warcraft 3, and even in Korea today, they
RTS is real-time strategy, in case you didn't know. I told you, real-time strategy.
don't label League of Legends as a MOBA because they still call it an RTS. This meant
Yeah.
that the 10 years of StarCraft skills could in some way translate over to League of Legends. Macro decision.
A lot of world players make fun of League for not.
Control and ability usage.
I watched a
vision
video.
control-
I watched a video about someone saying how League is not doing justice to its like origins by not being a good RTS game anymore. I know how that makes sense, but yeah.
and map control. This made picking up League of Legends very, very easy for an entire country
I guess it was easy in the beginning.
that was intimately familiar.
It's now that you have to be like, oh shit, I have to. Okay, I have a jungle path. I have to go to from bot top. Okay, do I path top? Do I path? Okay, do I gank here? No, I have to wait for level 3. No, I have to take my red buff and no, I have to take my blue buff. And
With the mechanics of StarCraft, the
It's not even ranked yet, and it's.
other reason Koreans loved League of Legends was actually one of its biggest
Do I take the Baron? Do we take Baron or do we take Drake?
differences when compared to StarCraft.
Fucking annoying.
StarCraft's main competitive game mode is one.
And the tutorial teaches you none of it. The tutorial is like, okay, you start here, you walk from this end of the lane to that end of the lane. Game over.
versus 1. So you have to be at a similar skill level as your friends if you want to have fun playing with them. League of Legends, on the other hand, is 5 versus 5, meaning that
Ooh.
groups of friends could all very easily play together. This took advantage of the PC ban culture, as it made the social outing even
Oh, they're
more
showing their
spice,
mains. Hello?
meaning that groups of friends could all very easily play together. This took advantage
Jax.
of the
Piece of shit. Jax. I hate Jax players.
PC ban
Wayne, okay.
culture, as it made the
Thresh,
social
okay.
outing even
I tried to play Thresh, but it's annoying. Dude. Just.
more social.
Okay. Or
League of
Rhina, I don't know who that
Legends'
is. Maybe they
focus on
removed
micromechanics
Rhina. Or maybe
meant
nobody
that
plays
the
her anymore.
high-speed internet of Korea was the perfect place to play. This made the Korean server synonymous with an extremely high level of micromechanics, and players always trying to outplay each other no matter what position they're in. As the Korean player base started to
Nice.
become more and more obsessed with League of Legends, the network OnGameNet also leaned into the trend.
Hey,
and
look
launched
what
the
Korea is
country's
doing. They're
first
doing like
major
whole
League of
showmanship,
Legends tournament
idle
in March of
situation.
2012.
That's what they need to
Korean
do, I
teams
think.
like StarTale and CJ Enters
StarTale is a
instantly
good
bought
name.
into the League of Legends hype.
What is that
creating their
logo?
own
Look at this. This logo looks so clean. What the fuck is this? Did someone made it in paint or
League
something?
of Legends rosters alongside their StarCraft rosters. Riot then doubled down on the popularity in August of 2012 as they created a Korean-specific feature
Oh?
for League of Legends.
Oh,
This feature
okay.
meant that if you logged into your account to play League of Legends at a PC bang, you would instantly have all of the champions unlocked completely for free.
When you
This
still
was a genius move by Riot.
you have this now if you have Game Pass. You get Riot lets you link your Game Pass to your Riot account and you get all the champions, which doesn't work half the time anyway. So
Riot leaning into the Korean PC bang culture so the Korean player base felt understood and respected by Riot. All of this culminated into the perfect environment for League of Legends to thrive. And
Man,
as October rolled around,
why does no game care for Indian players like this? I mean, I guess there just aren't enough players for companies to care.
Season 2 of Worlds
I mean, if Valo doesn't have enough players, Valo being one of the most famous games, most played games in the country, then
finally come. So for a year, Korea had been training and transferring their StarCraft skills, but was still technically a year behind the other regions on game experience. But even still, after just 1 year, the Korean team Azubu Frost made it to the Season 2 Worlds Finals,
nice.
losing to TPA in the end. But for their first international tournament, Korea had quite a good showing. But over Season 3, the League of Legends scene would really develop and
T1?
grow,
T1's there
as more
already?
StarCraft teams would end up making League of Legends rosters. SKT T1, also known as T1 now, and KT Rolster would make their own League of Legends teams that are still competing today, as well as other iconic teams of Samsung Ozone and Jin Air Greenwings. These big teams investing in League of Legends meant that they brought with them 10 years of esports knowledge.
That's also a thing, right? I don't think there are any investors willing to invest in India. Like investors in India are very risk averse, and esports is a risky business. So unless you're like committed for a long term partnership, I think you would be investing.
The team houses, coaches, mindset, work ethic, and professionalism all carried over into League of Legends. These Korean teams and players took the game very seriously, especially when compared to Western teams. Another carryover from StarCraft was the large team rosters. The Korean StarCraft rosters had proven that having lots of players to scrim against each other and sharing their collective knowledge made for exponential improvement. So in the early days of Korean League, many teams would have an A team and a B team. Double the talent, consistent scrim partners, and teams could practice strategies amongst themselves without worrying about them being leaked. The B team could also be utilized to trial new players. Faker's first professional game was actually against SKTT1's B team, and his dominant performance is what convinced them to pick him up for the main roster. This A and B team structure meant that the A team at the end of the year would be the best players in the organization.
Just watching them do all those actions makes my fingers hurt.
Competition from players to grind and get better to reach the A team. But Korea didn't just have multiple teams, they also had multiple leagues. OnGameNet was seen as the Premier League, but for teams that didn't qualify or got knocked out, there was a secondary league called the NLB. This added even more competition for improvement and made sure that even if teams weren't in the Premier League, they were still playing and improving. And in no time at all, Korea had not just caught up to the other regions, but had become the best region to ever play League of Legends. SKTT1 wins 2013 Worlds. Then Samsung White wins 2014 Worlds. Then SKTT1 wins 2015 Worlds and 2016 Worlds back to back.
And this year, exactly, in 2016, when they were picking up their consecutive trophy, 2016 is when India decided to, okay, that's finally time that we should have a department for esports, and that is when Esports Federation was established.
Samsung Galaxy wins 2017 Worlds. So for Korea, it was 5 years of straight League of Legends Worlds wins. The gap between Korea and the other regions was huge. All of this dominance was the result of the perfect esports storm. First, the Asian financial crisis impacts Korea. Then the country heavily invests in tech and high-speed internet with a boom of PC bangs across the country. Then StarCraft takes off in Korea and becomes part of Korean culture. The Korean government ends up taking esports seriously, setting up professional infrastructure. Then League of Legends comes to Korea at the perfect time, and Riot Games enters the market very respectfully. and the Korean audience becomes obsessed. So all that previous StarCraft
Japan does anime. Korea does esports. Japan also does esports. I mean, that FGC is really big in Japan. Evo and stuff happen there, obviously. Korea also does manhwas and stuff. That is a big industry. K-pop is a big industry. And there's esports. China also has esports. China has animations. Their games have been popping off. Marvel Rivals, Where Winds Meet, that will be playing today after this. Yeah. What is our cultural export? What are we? What are we exporting?
infrastructure and esports understanding allows Korea to master the game faster than every other region. But Korea didn't just have some success with every other region catching up, because Korea has continued to improve year after year. The professionalism and infrastructure around esports continues to grow. Faker has become a household name in Korea.
Yeah, true.
Huge company sponsorships and advertisements with esports players.
Yeah.
Korean esports teams
I
have
mean,
their own
I
facilities,
didn't even know what League was, and I knew who Faker was,
PC bangs, and in-person merchandise stores. Riot continues to develop in Korea with the LOL Park venue where the LCK is held, with a Riot
Nice.
merchandise store, PC rooms, and cafe. There are countless League of Legends collaborations in food, drinks, and merchandise in Korea, which reminds me a lot of the StarCraft sponsorships of old, like the iconic Korean Air StarCraft 2 themed plane. League of Legends has become a large part of Korean culture, as if it were their national game. This has normalized professional gaming so much that the mum of pro player Pays hired a full-time League of Legends tutor when
Damn.
he was in school. Pays was quoted in saying, "At first, he would come over 2 or 3 times a week, but eventually I hit a plateau. Since it was summer break, my tutor stayed with us for a month.
What does that tell you,
watching
people?
me play
Hire an
every
esports coach
single
for your
day."
kids.
People in Korea have been seeing gaming success as comparable
Because I feel like
to when
India
a
is gaining
child is
momentum now.
talented
So in the
at
next like
sport
10
or
years, we
art,
should be
getting them the
the esports
resources
scene, I think.
they need to
Because it
succeed.
started late.
It seems like every other region is playing catch up to Korea. China
Yep.
is obviously second place when compared to other regions of EU and NA. But
Yep.
Korea and League of Legends are binded together.
This
with
year
Korea
Worlds
winning
was T1 versus TES. Right? What was it? Worlds 2025 finals. There you go. I think it was India. Not India. I think it was Korea versus China. I think. Just show me the match, please. Which one was it? Was the TS? I can't read brackets. That was fuck. This Korean team? KT? It was. I remember seeing, yeah, TS. I think a TS was T1 match. I thought it was finals. It was not. It's not. Anyway, where is it? There you go.
worlds 4 times in the past 4 years. It seems like the era of Korean dominance is not over yet, and Korea will not stop until they achieve League of Legends perfection.
Nice video. Liked Makin. When I upload this to YouTube, I'll also leave a link in the description. Yeah, nice video. It was started late, I guess, because in 2016 India established the Esports Federation, and we are like slowly seeing some development in the esports scene. So for in the next 10 years or so, we'll start seeing an emergence of teams. Because if you right now we are seeing like a lot of players get into Pokemon Unite, and Unite is like mobile MOBA obviously, but it is like a step towards like getting into League, I think, because obviously it's a MOBA, so might be able to transition there. We'll see how that goes. A good video. I think it's the same thing with FGCs. There's no arcade culture. There's no gaming cafe culture in India, I think, and that comes down to parents not letting you go out or something. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Give out second-hand computers like Korea did, and if that will work in India, who knows? Who knows?